Okay, my favorite activity of all is climbing, specifically trad climbing, and I get to talk about it. This particular trip, we're going to be doing it back in the mountains, so we may cross some glaciers to get to camp, or we may cross some glaciers to get to the actual climbing area. Depends on what routes we do. Some we don't have to, some we do. But if I have to do that, we already talked about that in the last video. Let me skip over real fast. At one point in the trip where I'm at, there's going to be some really big multi-pitch sport climbs. So I will be taking a set of sport draws with me. 2 sets actually, but you get the point. That'll be for like when my wife's with me. She prefers sport climbing over trad climbing, so I'll be taking that just when we're in the front range out in the city and stuff like that. But when my big goal that I have planned, obviously I'll have my backpack to climb with. Harness is a must, and helmet and rope is the obvious. I will, if I don't have to wear my boots, like I said, I will hike out there in my approach shoes. And when the climbing gets too technical, I will switch to my climbing shoes, which the last trip I was on, I had a pair that fit me really well. Your feet tend to swell throughout the day. It created a lot of pain in my feet, so I went up a half size bigger, see how that works out. And if the climbing's easy enough, then I will just keep my approach shoes on, and that'll be fine. I'm also taking some belay gloves and some crack gloves. The crack gloves cover just the back of your hand, so when you're wedging them in there, we'll have both of those. The belay gloves are mostly for when I'm doing longer rappels. Again, couple water bottles. If I take a bit of water with me, the most I'm going to have, whether I drink the rest of it right before I start climbing, would be like 2 liters at absolute most, preferably only a liter. I was out on Devil's Tower in the middle of the summer last year, super hot, climbed on the south side in the sun. We ran out of water about halfway up, maybe a little bit before halfway up. Miserable. We did make it to the top, but all of us suffered. So I'm going to take a little extra water just in case. Food and snacks, obviously, is a must. If I'm doing single pitch climbing, I don't really need a radio or a beacon or a headlamp, but we're going to be out in the backcountry, so I will have my radio, my SOS, and my headlamp. Again, we'll be starting the hike to get out there earlier. Hopefully, I don't have to do any climbing in the dark, but worst case, we get the first pitch in or 2. Again, my little phone sling. That way, if I'm taking pictures of my buddies while they're climbing, I won't accidentally drop my phone. So that's the basic stuff that I have for pretty much just getting out there, glacier travel, and the actual rock climbing. So now here's my favorite equipment. So I'm taking a set of cams, Black Diamond Ultralight. I do have a couple totems in here. If we need doubles of anything, I have a set of ultralights and a set of totems. So that's what I'll take. I do like the Petzl Connect because it allows you to clip in and adjust yourself to the belay station. So I do have that. Worst case, if I need to cut weight, I can cut that and just tie in with the rope. A set of Alpine draws. Not really going to go through what all of this does. I figured if you know climbing, you know what it is, but just go through what I like to take. And everything's personal preference. There's going to be a lot of people who like to do this versus that, but if you have any tips, leave a comment. It'd be really cool to learn some new stuff. I'm always up for other opinions. Taking a set of nuts with the nut tool. I do like these Wild Country offset nuts. Those have come in pretty handy. A friend recommended them. They're hollow in the middle. I mean, I think all nuts are when they get to the bigger sizes, but these are super awesome. 10 out of 10 recommend. And then I just have a regular set of Black Diamond mini stopper nuts. I do like to take some Bale Tat or Cordelette with a wrap ring, just in case we do have to leave some stuff behind to get down. That's a little bit extra. I do take a quad sling and a double sling for building anchors or whatever I may need. I do like to take one of each of those, and then obviously I think it's like 30 feet of cordelettes to build anchors and stuff out of, and maybe it's not 30 feet. Belay device, super important. And I also like to take this Gigi Kong, I think it's called, as a backup. Plus, if I'm belaying 2 followers at the same time, this makes it way easier than an ATC. But this is also my backup in case I drop something or someone else does. They can still repel or build it out of carabiners. Always take a backup hand. It's a hollow block, that's right, hollow block for repelling. You can do some other things with it. Take a knife if your rope gets stuck or you have to chop it for any reason. I definitely want a knife. I've had this one pop open before. It's the Petzl, so I taped it closed because that would be really terrible if it happened to open up and you fell and stuck yourself. We are going to be simul climbing. So I am bringing a micro traction. My buddy has a few others, so we'll have like 3 or 4 of these while we simul climb. That'll come in useful. I do always like to take a large carabiner as well for the main master point of my anchor, and I tend to take 3 small extra lockers and 2 non-lockers. I used to take 2 extra big lockers as well, but those are kind of on my Kong. So being that I have these, I don't take the big ones. Worst case scenario, I could attach this to something else. But I do, technically those are also my extra large ones. But these are my 3 extra small and 2 non-lockers. That's what we're actually using while we're out on the wall, multi-pitch climbing, the gear that helps us stay safe if we fall, and yeah, so the last video was how we get to the climbs when we're out to where we're going, and this is what we use to climb. Like I said, if you have any advice or any tips, I'm always open to try new things, and thank you.